Hola, everybody.
Hola.
That's what I learned in school. Hola, Isabel. Something about biblioteca.
What's that?
Going to the library.
Oh, okay. So here we are.
Again. And it's another beautiful Wednesday.
Yeah. Yes. You guys, this is a great subject. I'm so excited that we're going to be talking about this today, Vera.
Yeah.
I really am.
Because I do love her so much.
Me too. She's a fabulous, fabulous
And you
soul.
know, like when you meet her, well, okay, we're talking about Louise Hay.
Louise Hay.
And she just went home.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't like saying graduated.
I know.
She just went home.
She went home.
Yeah, October is her birthday. October 8th, she's a Libra, and she left on August
30th.
30th, yeah. So that's who we're talking about. Such a bright,
Isn't she?
bright light.
She is. She's so
She had every
beautiful,
opportunity
amazing person
to just give up and not care about anything.
Yeah, and if you don't know who Louise Hay is,
oh my gosh,
she is an author of a book. She's many things, but she authored a book called You Can Heal Your Life.
Mm-hmm.
And she began a publishing company called Hay
and then
House.
she was trying to empower women.
So she had a lot of women authors.
Mm-hmm. But then of course men were welcomed as well. She's like an equal opportunity person.
Yeah.
But whenever you meet her in person, she made you feel like you were her old friend, like just so and not know who you were. Yeah. You know, she was just so gracious.
Very gracious soul.
Yeah.
A healing kind of feeling about her.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell too by the people that work for her, because they were amazing too.
Weren't they though?
Yeah, Donna and Reed and you know, all these different Evie's. I don't know if Evie's worked for Hay House, but she was a part of the travel thing.
You know what I really loved too? When I went down there to visit the main, company, I guess. Mm-hmm. Everybody, like you said, the energy in there
was
too.
So nice.
It was so positive. Everybody was so nice,
and it
trickles down.
Like everybody got along.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't know, but it seemed like everybody, worked well together. Yeah. But yeah, like you say, it came from the top.
Yeah, it came from the top. The good, positive energy and caring.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And then Reed Tracy, he had a past life, obviously, with Louise Hay.
I was so interested about that. So in what context did they know each other?
They were mother and son.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because Reed Tracy was her CEO, right? Mm-hmm. And then she was the CEO, but then she had him take over.
He took over the helm of Hay House.
It's just so neat. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
The mother and son type of relationship.
Yeah.
I remember meeting him, and he was just so nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. And then his wife, and then his little boy at the time. I don't know. He probably has more children now, but yeah, he was amazing. They all were.
I know.
Donna Bay.
I loved Donna.
She's so sweet. Oh my gosh.
So
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. But just to make you feel like you were the only one in the room when she had like 50 other people, because it was that cruise, before a cruise actually. But then also I got to meet her doing feng shui, because she feng shuied. Her business was going down.
Really?
Yeah, in Carlsbad, yeah. And,
that's the place
or it wasn't taking off. It wasn't going down, but it wasn't taking off like
flourish more.
So she had this lady come in, and oh gosh, I forgot her name now. She's one of the ones that taught us.
But she came in.
Yeah, she wrote a book on the Western
feng shui. You know, it's really neat, because I remember when I went down to visit their office, I found it to be so beautiful, because the offices, they had fountains of water. There was the wood element and the plants and everything.
She feng shuied everything in the warehouse.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
That's neat.
And then she took off.
Really?
Yeah, it was just like the energy was changed, and it was.
Wow.
Yeah, well then she attributes it to that too.
Wow.
She said, because she always had, God, what is the lady's name?
Well, you'll think of it before the end.
Yeah, so anyway, but yeah, she was like this wonderful person. And then when she passed over, when she went home, I was telling Chrissy, she had thousands and thousands and thousands of gay, AIDS patient, HIV people that had passed over coming to greet her.
And that's because
she changed their lives.
At the time when
nobody cared about them.
Right.
They were like pariahs.
Oh, wow.
It seemed, because people just like didn't want to touch them, all kinds of, and Louise embraced them.
Isn't that neat, you guys?
Yeah. And then here she had no medical training or anything like that, but she had this spiritual side, and she put it together with what she was learning from the AIDS patients and all that stuff. Yeah.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah. And that's where that past life that I was saying from.
You guys are gonna love this. It's really cool.
Yeah, she was well, they weren't called nurses back then, but basically a nurse in the Civil War.
Wow.
And I was vacillating between, I remembered Clara Barton, but it wasn't her. And then I looked it up, and it's Amanda Aiken. And that's who Louise Hay was.
And it's really amazing, Vera, because when you said that, it was like, of course, I wanted to see if there was anything out there about her, and it seemed like she wrote a diary. Mm-hmm. She wrote in that life, and it's amazing because she was an author in this life.
Yeah.
And she started a publishing house. I mean, I just think it's so cool because it's kind of like our dharma, right?
Yeah.
That we talked about before, where we have this thing that we feel that we want to do in life. And in this life, it might start it here, she would write, and then now, in this time, she did it on a much more huge scale. And also, too, I can't help but notice, a nurse of souls. In that lifetime, she was like a nurse to these men.
Yeah, because they weren't nurses back then. It was before nurses had a title.
Wow.
And they had to learn as they went. And that's kind of like what she did in her current life as Louise.
Yeah, it's, and that's the thing. It's like it gets me every time when I think about Louise's youth because of what had happened to her.
Yeah.
She was sexually attacked, sexually assaulted when she was a child. But it's
where she couldn't have children.
Right. And from that experience, she was able to really look at, healing herself. Mm-hmm. And through that, she intuitively got all these messages for all of us. Mm-hmm. Because in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, she has definitions of where a disease or something is emotionally coming from.
The root cause.
The root cause.
Because Sylvia's always taught us that every ailment, every injury, everything comes from an emotion.
Even illness.
First.
Illness. Even a cold is from a recent trauma or, different things. There's many different things. But if you look at her book, you'll see it. Louise Hay's book. Mm-hmm. But it was amazing because, here she was being a nurse again, and she was trying to heal herself through what happened, and she created this for all of us.
And then she helped the AIDS patients when nobody was helping them.
Right.
And then she learned from that and then did the book.
I have to tell you this. This is a testimony for her, Louise Hay, that I had a cyst in my arm for as long as I could remember.
I have one too.
And a number of years back, it started really hurting. It was really red. It was like never had bothered me before, but it was really hurting. And I had done a hypnosis session at the time. And to make a long story short, I was running in my mind. It was like this projector was still playing out old movies of the bad things that happened. And not that had anything to do with this, but I was working through what was bothering me on an emotional or mental level at the time.
So it manifested in your skin.
But the reason I bring it up is because after I got rid of it, I looked up in her definitions of her book, and I found cyst, and it said an old movie, a bad movie still running. I couldn't believe it, because in the meditation or hypnosis, it's exactly what my master teachers on the other side were showing me.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to bring it up of how good she is and what she got in her book. I mean, it was right on.
Yeah.
I just had to tell
you that. And that's infusion, just like the guy of the rune Ralph Blum, and a lot of purists with the runes do not like him because he changed some of the verbiage and the meanings of some of the runes to be more modern, and it was very Gnostic, you know, and it wasn't all doom and gloom.
Right.
And that's what I resonated to. And just like with Louise, she would get this in meditation or, you know, infusion, and wrote. She was just amazing.
And I also wanted to say that's exactly the messages that come through you and from Angus. It's like, because sometimes Angus, you know, he reminds me, he's like that too. You have the power over your own life, and the enlightenment is like that. Understanding is the first and most important thing to healing ourselves in all these different ways.
Exactly.
Because, you know, he does the same thing, and so do you when you give us the information.
Yeah.
Helps us.
Angus, for those that don't know, is a master teacher on the other side.
On the other side, who comes and talks to Vera.
He's our sponsor.
He's our, like, a patron saint, or not a patron saint, protectorate.
Protectorate.
That's what we came up with.
Yeah. Because first I called him what?
A mascot.
Mascot. Oh my God. Hard to tell. I'm around athletics all my life.
Yeah.
You know. Jeez. Yeah. Angus is our mascot.
Yeah. But he's like our protectorate.
Yeah.
He gives us information from the other side through Vera.
But yeah, that's what we just wanted to talk about, Louise, and just honor. Not that she needs any more honoring, but just, you know, she was just amazing, and what a role model. What a role model.
Exactly. Isn't that the truth?
She practiced what she preached.
That's for sure.
And you know, I wasn't around her that much, just a couple of times, but she always had a smile on her face.
Yeah. How positive.
Yeah.
You know? That's a great lesson.
And
for us.
Very
Example.
genteel. Can you picture her like as that nurse nurturing these guys, just like she nurtured the AIDS patients?
Isn't that the truth?
She was so gentle. Yeah. Genteel, I should say.
Right.
So, yeah. So we just wanted
to share a little bit about her passing.
Yeah.
Because you had gotten that about all the AIDS patients and everywhere.
Yeah, and all these guys were just running up to God. It was almost, and of course we don't walk, right? It's like we're floating over there, but she was like being carried, you know, from all these guys, and of course her angels and her guides and past life loved ones, and you know, like that tunnel was packed. You know, it took her a while to get through.
That's really neat.
But she was like she was just like so. I'm getting like chills, happy, you know, happier. Just in grace.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
She did good.
She done good. Yes, she did. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Nope, that was it. Just, gosh, you know, get the book if you haven't.
Yeah.
And she has so many affirmations. She has so many meditations. She has a lot of stuff.
You know, and the thing with Louise Hay's affirmations, I would do is add Vera and Angus's visualizations, because that's the one thing where if you don't feel that you have to believe that the affirmation is true. Otherwise, it's just reciting words.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to believe it, because your subconscious mind knows when you're fibbing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because they'll go, oh, that's not the way you really feel.
So, you know, that's what a Gnostic is a seeker of truth, finding different parts that fit.
Exactly.
And so, her affirmations, your and Angus's visualizations, different things that resonate to you to pull together to create that healing.
Exactly. So that's all I wanted to share.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for joining us today, you guys. We hope you have a great week. Blessings.
Bye.